Remember how elegantly Predator hunted down brutal, testosterone-filled military rescue team of 6 members? It was a game for that Predator, a challenge full of enjoyment, culminating with a one-on-one brawl with Major Alan Dutch Schaefer. How difficult and challenging it was for experienced Vietnam veteran to fight this tall, alien, rather reptile-looking humanoid creature with helicity that outweighed hardened warrior by every stat. After an exhausting fight, finally Dutch managed to overcome the creature, and that only with the pure luck. And still, Predator had its last word. As we now know, there is 2 types of predators. One is classic, we all love and know as the cute one, and there is an ugly duckling, which is considered as super predator. Different subspecies, physically stronger and more vicious than classics, more reptilian with longer faces. These 2 predator subspecies, if you will, are mortal rivals and are ready to cut each other's throats, no questions asked. And then all of a sudden we have a 3rd member that's supposed to be the strongest, and unfortunately looks like the ugliest of them all, feral predator. To be fair, taxonomy of the predator requires a separate video as a whole, could be a topic for the future videos. Here in this video I want to focus on injustice shown in the Prey movie. Today we understand by default that Super Predator is portrayed as physically stronger and more aggressive compared to classic one. In between, we now have to consider Feral Predator that's supposed to be stronger than Super Predator, but at the same time we have to note the fact that it is not the sharpest one, it lacks cunningness and observation. This examination might of course be related only to Feral Predator as individual, but guys, let us at least a little bit stay in the realm of reality and not go to the extremes only because we are dealing with sci-fi menacing alien creature that has uberpowers and cannot be harmed. Now speaking of being harmed, Predator's fight with Grizzly looks all CGI and cool, but not real. Of course not real. Not because of real existing creature is fighting imaginary one, but because balance of power is unequal. Grizzly is a big animal with an average weight of about 250 kilos plus, about 600 pounds, and standing almost 2.5 meters tall, that is 8 feet. One thing is to see this animal on the screen as a CGI animation, other thing is to collide with that mass, especially in an extreme situation. Enraged Grizzly has ultimate destruction power. One hit with the paw breaks bones and fractures spines, and don't forget, adrenaline release overclocks muscles, giving temporary boost of strength. This is berserk, and only power that can stop it must be double the size. Events of the movie take place on the Great Plains of North America in 18th century, so we are truly dealing with Grizzly and not much heavier Kodiak bear, which inhabits the islands of Kodiak Archipelago in southwest Alaska. This was initial assessment of Grizzly and what it represents. Now we have some view about this animal, but who is the adversary? Opposing power is Feral Predator. This is how it's called in the wide web, but I'll refer to it as just feral, because word predator has bad omen. So what do we have? Humanoid alien creature with neon green blood, that is about 150 kilos, something 300 pounds heavy, and standing a little over 2 meters, 7 feet tall. As I said before, let us stay in realm of reality despite we are dealing with fictional creature. So how did I get these figures? Well, different sources claim different numbers, but main hook I focused on is its height, and estimation is more or less correct, so 7 feet, little over 2 meters tall. Had to look up who fits the same frame among humanoids and has similar height as our feral. There was a lot of candidates, like boxers for example, but I decided for Shaquille O'Neal, of having more or less same numbers with our monster. Means that it must be about 150 kilos. Some opponents might tell us that it could be heavier because of the bone density. Where am I going with my little presentation is that I am hinting to a fact that outcome of the fight was shown wrong. Feral wouldn't stand a chance against Grizzly in a hand-on-paw combat that was shown to us in the movie. Grizzly's first bite on the feral's shoulder would finish the fight, and much heavier bear would cover this exemplar of extraterrestrial visitor as a warm blanket, weakening and mauling it into pieces, bringing this fight to an end. This ninja throw also doesn't fit in any frame. Take a potato sack that is 60% heavier than yourself and try to throw it like this, considering that this potato sack is resisting. But no way bear is going to stop mauling so fast. He is going to rip and tear until there is no more. But even if Predator somehow managed to come out as a winner, as it was in the movie, I'm sure celebration wouldn't be very long, as our feral guy wouldn't bear inflicted wounds and eventually succumb. As a popcorn flick, this movie goes very well, but something doesn't fit. Grizzly wasn't able, with all its raw power, finish our feral guy, but a little girl somehow was. Excuses that she used advanced weapon that belonged to Predator do not sound serious. Yes, girl managed to win because Predator was weakened by bear, by guns, arrows, spears, traps. It was prepared on a plate for girl to finish it. Here is the point, we were presented with physically strongest exemplar of them all. Now go remind yourself how Dutch fought his Predator, considering what experience Dutch had in the past.